parallel processing for vocals. This is what it sounds like before in the mix. See, now we gotta get it to cut through the mix without touching the volume knob on the track itself. So I added some parallel processing to it. Do this instead of doing volume automations, and at this stage, do this instead. That is only a matter of time until that is only a before. That is only a matter of time until that is only a matter of time until after. So what I'm doing is I have an aux called Bright Vox. It's doing more than brighten. It's strengthening the vocals. It's also brightening the top end a little bit. So the first plugin in the chain is EQ. I'm at 730 hertz, down 12 dB, and I'm boosting 7,300 hertz, 7K, right? And then the next plugin is a distressor, compressing that. So I'm you can check out the numbers here. This is what the compressor is doing. That is only a matter of time until it's adding a little bit of color and doing a whole bunch of compression. And then I am boosting a little 200, a little bit of 12 dB worth of 200, and then I'm cutting 8K, which is where most of our harsh frequencies will be at, especially for a vocal like this one. And the whole thing sounds like this. This is before. That is only a matter of time until after. That is only a matter of time until. All right. Here's a plugin that you can use for your telephone effect. You probably didn't know that you could use, the Echo Boy for that, but you can use it to get, all these effects, right? Like it comes with a whole bunch of sockets that you can use to get different vibes for different things. So go to single echo and then time, mix all the way wet, time all the way to 0, because you don't want any delay. Feedback all the way to 0. And then you're gonna go down here and you're gonna find telephone.
See, just work with me. Yeah, baby girl, just work with me. Yeah, baby girl, just work with me. Yeah, baby girl, just work with me.
This is what the vocal sounds like dry.
You've got me on a natural.
And now I have a plate reverb. Here's what sounds like with the plate reverb on it.
You've got me on a natural high.
And I am adding a quarter note delay to the reverb. So this is what that sounds like.
You've got me on a natural high.
Nice little repeat there. And then I am adding a spring reverb to the delay. So that's going to smear and diffuse the repeat of the delay, and it's gonna sound like this.
You've got me on a natural high.
You hear that? So that's what that sounds like. So everything combined without exaggerating it, sounds like this.
You've got me on a natural high. It's almost like I didn't even have
So, it's a little bit over like it's a bit much, with the reverb and the delay, and then spring is almost always a lot to deal with to me. I feel like it's always overpowering if you're not careful. So what I decided to do is I want to keep my effect to this much right here.
You've got me on a net.
I want to have that much effect on the vocal, but I don't want it. I want the reverb to stay consistent. I just don't want a lot of delay and spring to muddy up the vocal. So what I decided to do is sidechain compressor to the delay, and have the delay and the spring reverb come in when she's not singing. So in between, when she takes a break, you would hear the effect, but when she's singing, like her voice would compress the delay, and it would. This is a lazy way of not automating things. So this is what that sounds like.
You've got me on a natural high. It's almost like I didn't even have a choice. You are a beautiful surprise.
This is before. Listen out for the plosives.
I think it's best that we go our separate ways. There's nothing here for us anymore.
Pastime and go. Those are the two plosives that I want to smooth out. But sometimes you're working with a budget that doesn't allow you the type of time to automate these plosives. So you gotta go to desperate measures. And using 1176, set the ratio at 20, and fast attack should get the job done. Fast attack, medium release. Check out those plosives now.
I think it's best that we go our separate ways. There's nothing here for us anymore.
Right. It's a stereo delay, and one of the sides, I'm just adding a dotted note to that 8th note, and it sounds like this. Make sure it's soloed.
The Legion, believe we ain't as easily shocked. The tough talk, I needed to stop. I really believe in the way that I give it a devastating with it. I'm in the business of spitting sick as a clinic. Intention is elevation. Get a Legion.
And especially a rap vocal like that, you really don't want to affect it too much with reverb and other things. So you want to. This is where a short delay like this would come in. Would really make sense. This is what it sounds like without it.
The Legion, believe we ain't as easily shocked. The tough talk, I needed to stop. I really believe in the way that.
And with it.
The Legion, believe we ain't as easily shocked. The tough talk, I needed to stop. I really believe in the way that I give it a devastating with it. I'm in the business of spitting sick as a clinic.
And without it in the music.
The Legion, believe we ain't as easily shocked. The tough talk, I needed to stop. I really believe in the way that I give it a devastating with it. I'm in the business of spitting sick as a clinic. Intention is elevation.
And with it.
The Legion, believe we ain't as easily shocked. The tough talk, I needed to stop. I really believe in the way that I give it a devastating with it. I'm in the business of spitting sick as a clinic. Intention is elevation. Get a Legion, believe we.
And the example we have here is this one. Take a listen.
I think it's best that we go our separate ways. There's nothing here for us anymore. There's nothing to discuss, but you won't let things go. No, no, no.
Right. So, what I started doing is work in the mid-range. So my job is to find a space within that instrumental for the vocal to thrive, to be heard without all these piano stuff. And you know, I'm sure you can hear all the samples in the background. So what I did, I did a little bit of EQ change in the mid-range. Here's what that sounds.
In time, maybe we can be together.
Right, so that'll dip down the piano, and maybe some of the background samples in the EQ. But then again, I started hearing low mid rumbles, so I sort of EQ'd that out, along with some low end, you know, bass.
In time, maybe we can be together. It lasts forever, but for now, I think it's better.
Right. So now, the only challenge now is the instrumental is a little soft and lack character. So what I decided to do instead of doing that is, you know, use a Pro Q3 instead. So what I ended up doing is, you know, some dynamic EQ in the mid-range and the top end.
In time, maybe we can be together. It lasts forever, but for now, I think it's best we don't see each other. Probably not ever, yeah. In time. I think it's best that we go our separate ways. There's nothing here for us anymore. There's nothing to discuss, but you won't let things go. No, no, no. You wanna work on us, you wanna work on us, but there's not even trust. You saying you're gonna change, but remain the same. I don't know.
Right. So I decided to sidechain the vocal into the dynamic EQ plugin. Pro Q3, you know, has the option. So I decided to make the vocal compress the mid range and the top end just a little bit when she's singing. So that way I don't have a static EQ just constantly taking things out. So I want them to go out to leave when she's in. And when she leaves, then they can play because she's not in the mid-range singing. Okay? So do that instead. You know, instead of using a static EQ on an instrumental, use dynamic EQ. So Wave's got the F6. There's tons of other ones out there that you can use. So this is how I would mix an MP3 instrumental for the vocal to sit nicely in the mid-range. Okay, so that's been it for me for this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Smash the subscribe button and the like button. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for more of these tips every week, a couple times a week. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, peace. Bye.